Oh, good evening. How are you? I'm very tired. I shouldn't even be going live right now, but I am because tomorrow Jake Paul is going to box Mike Tyson on Netflix. And like, this is weird because I don't ever really talk about sports. We talk about music like it is sports, right? Like that's our sports here on the channel. But we're actually talking about sports in this case. In this case, we're talking about boxing. I don't know. Boxing is kind of interesting. I don't mind watching the highlight reels. I have to say, for a long time, I've been very frustrated and annoyed with this Jake Paul guy, who I think really needs to just get his block knocked off, to be honest with you. And I feel like there's nothing more perfect than going up against Mike Tyson. I sit here watching all the analysts talk about who's going to win or who has the edge. And here's what it basically comes down to. Jake Paul's 27, Mike Tyson's 57. There's 30 years between them. Jake Paul has more stamina than Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. He still has all the power. And so it leaves me wondering, the first hurdle that you have to overcome is this real or is this fake? Like, is this an actual, is like, is somebody being paid off to like throw the thing? Like, what's the angle here? Jake Paul's supposed to make $40 million. Mike Tyson's going to make $20 million. Neither one of them are hurting for money. What does Jake Paul get anything out of getting knocked out by Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson has something to prove because this is an officially sanctioned boxing match. His last match was an exhibition match, and his match before that was sort of a very lackluster match. So it's like this is like another chance for Mike Tyson to really kind of put a period on his career in a proper kind of way, I guess. And like the flip side of that, hold on, let me switch this. Hopefully this doesn't ruin the internet. The flip side of that is if Mike Tyson were to get, I just don't see how Jake Paul is going to knock out Mike Tyson. I've been kind of like, I loosely like Jake Paul has only boxed one actual boxer, this guy, Tommy Fury, and Tommy Fury won the match. So Jake Paul does two things. One, he fights non-boxers. He'll fight fighters, but he fights non-boxers. And he fights guys who are way older than him. Like there's something really weird about this guy going around. He has this superiority complex going around telling everybody he's the greatest when his record and his knockout record is kind of like it's flimsy. It's not so much of again, I don't care about the purity of boxing. It's not so much a boxing match as it is it's more about like, it's a circus. It's a circus match. And a lot of people who venerate the purity of boxing are all up in arms as to, the perversion of a boxer who's considered to be the greatest to fight a guy like this. To me, I think it's interesting. And the truth of the matter is, I think despite Mike Tyson's health problems, I think that there is a rage inside of him, and I think he's going to take it out on Jake Paul, and that there's no amount of planning or training that Jake Paul could ever do. Actually, Crazy White Boy says it perfectly here in the comments. This is a very famous quote by Mike Tyson. He says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I think that is absolutely what is going to happen to Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul, who is prepared and trained in a variety of different ways, and he's taken steroids and he's bulked up. And here's the other thing too. A lot of people are doubting Mike Tyson because of his age, but he still has the power. He can still hit like a mofo. That's number one. Number two, he has the experience of getting into ring and fighting big guys. Jake Paul has never taken a hit from a guy like Mike Tyson, So it's like it doesn't matter whether Jake Paul has stamina or not. I think the moment that a guy like Mike Tyson unloads on Jake Paul, even if he just gets a couple of shots, and Jake Paul, between his brain and his body, he is going to be floundering. He's not going to be able to figure out up from down, left from right. You know what I mean? Again, unless the match is rigged, because that's what some people are saying, that, this is what he wants. He like Jake Paul wants this to, or Jake Paul wants to get knocked out by Mike Tyson. He wants to do it. He thinks like as if that will somehow uplift his profile. I don't see how it really would. If anything, I mean, it would really, you know what it would do? It would delegitimize anything that Jake Paul does. And the reason why it would is because like it would prove, like, here's a guy who's 30 years older than you knocking your block off, and B, you can't even if you can't even take on a guy who's 30 years older than you, how are you supposed to consider yourself a boxer in any sort of meaningful way? You know what I mean? I really do think Jake Paul has a lot to lose. I mean, sure, he'll get paid and sure he'll never have to work again. But this guy, the thing is, Jake Paul banks on being the most hated person in the world. You know what I mean? He like everybody talks about oh, I can't wait to see him get the floor wiped with him. And, people want to see him get his clock cleaned and everything. And Jake Paul kind of he banks on that. You know what I mean? He banks on it. He loves that. He feeds off of that. It's what kind of motivates him. And on the flip side, you have Mike Tyson, who clearly, what's interesting about Mike Tyson, he smokes weed, he takes mushrooms. I feel like he does these things to kind of dull. He said recently on one of the things I watched, he was like, Jake is a manufactured killer. I'm a natural born killer. And I think that's what he's speaking to. He's speaking to what is deep inside of him. What's deep inside of Mike Tyson. There's something burning. It's kind of like Rocky 6 from Rocky Balboa. Remember how Rocky says, I got some stuff in the basement I got to work out? I think that's what's going on with Mike Tyson. That is fiction. This is real life imitating fiction in that kind of way. You know what I mean? And the last couple of interactions between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, there's something changed about him. He's not so silly anymore. He's not kind of, what did he say about his Customato or whatever, the guy? Jake Paul said something really disrespectful about Mike Tyson's trainer guy. And Mike Tyson kind of laughs it off like this guy's out of his mind. But I feel like all of Jake Paul's kind of dancing around Mike Tyson, antagonizing. I don't think Jake Paul realizes what he is about to unleash on himself. It's really, really sticky. And you know what else is sticky? Our sponsor, Riot Stickers. If you need stickers, go to riotstickers.com. We have a special deal. You can get 100 stickers for $33. It's an incredible value. These are die-cut stickers. So if you want a sticker in the shape of Mike Tyson, even better, if you want Mike Tyson's face tattoo right on your face, you can literally put it right on your face, the shape of that sticker. You can get it. Go to riotstickers.com/Frumess. I'll put the link down in the description. You could double that order. You can get for $66, you can get 200 stickers. For $99, you can get 300 stickers. Riotstickers.com. You cannot beat it. It's a great deal. Free shipping. Sharpie Riot knows what he's doing. I'm going to play the theme song. We're going to keep talking about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Posters and promo cards, there's nothing we can't print for you. From stage backdrops to bass drum heads, we can print on shirts, we can print on hats, we can print on pants. Cheap prices and high
All right, we're back and we're talking about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Jake Paul, he kind of got his start. He seemed to just start boxing. He got really into it, and he's boxing he's boxing a bunch of schmoes. You know what I mean? He just seems like schmo after schmo after schmo. The only person that's like an actual boxer that he boxed was friggin' this guy Tommy Fury. He's part of a famous boxing family, right? And that guy cleaned his clock. So what makes anybody think that he's gonna possibly knock Mike Tyson's block off? I don't, or knock out Mike Tyson. I just don't think it's possible. Now, here's what could happen. Here's what could happen. Theoretically, hypothetically, this is what could happen. What could happen is if by some like miracle, Jake Paul is able to last, it's 8 2-minute rounds. If Jake Paul is able to last several rounds with Mike Tyson, it's very possible. It's very possible. It's not probable, but it's possible that Mike Tyson will be gassed enough and Jake Paul will be able to kind of come in there and do something about something. You know what I mean? Give what's his face a run for his money. I don't know. I just for some reason I just don't see Jake Paul being able to sustain any kind of punches from Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has something that Jake Paul will never have. And this is the thing about listen, I don't want to make this into, this is kind of goofy. I'm going to say, I'm going to keep it. Here's what I'll say about it. You got like this young, rich kid who has enough money to like get into a ring with someone like Mike Tyson, the way his brother did. His brother fought Floyd Mayweather. It's like these guys have enough money to like basically hire the greatest fucking boxers in the world and do these goofy boxing matches for promotion, sell pay-per-views and whatnot. And although in this case this is a Netflix streaming deal, so it's like a whole other sort of ball of wax. I just like it's like taking a shortcut. You know what I mean? Taking a shortcut instead of doing the hard work. Like, what would it actually take for anybody else to box someone like Mike Tyson? I don't know. But Jake Paul has so much money, that he can hire, but he can hire any trainer he wants. He has a promotion company, and he gets to a place where he can basically say, "Hey, Mike Tyson, I'm going to give you $20 million. Get in the ring with me." So it's kind of like what it feels like? It feels like he's almost kind of buying the fight, which is just pathetic to me. So I feel like, I've heard some people say it's like a win-win situation for Jake Paul. I feel like it's a lose-lose situation. If Jake Paul does knock out Mike Tyson, then he's knocked out a 57-year-old guy, with health problems. If he gets knocked out, that's just as bad because that's the second time that he fights a professional boxer and gets knocked out. B, that professional boxer is 30 years older than him. And this is this guy, Jake Paul. Here's the thing. The other thing too is Jake Paul is bulked up to meet Mike Tyson's weight. Just because you bulk up doesn't mean, does he have any experience at that weight class? Like, that's the thing. These guys, they bulk up and then they have to do something called cutting, which is when they sort of, it's slimming down, but bulked up, but then slimming down in a way that it makes them faster. They can move faster. They're better reflexes. I feel like if you haven't spent years like doing that sort of thing, oh shit, what happened here? There we go. What the fuck? Why did that do that? Um, I just feel like if you're not, if you don't, if you don't spend that much time at that weight class training, that doesn't mean putting on that bulk and getting your muscles up is not going to give you the power, the finesse that you need to take on a master fighter like Mike Tyson. That really is what makes this whole thing so appealing, is that like, here's this guy who's inexperienced, but he's in his prime. And here's Mike Tyson, who's at a severe disadvantage because of his age, but he's the greatest boxer who ever lived. Can the greatest boxer who ever lived take on a kid who has unlimited resources and is, by others' opinion, is a mediocre boxer, So my prediction is I think that Mike Tyson is going to win. I want to hope that Mike Tyson wins, and not just win. I really want him to just wipe the floor with this Jake Paul guy. I want him to humiliate Jake Paul. Jake Paul could use some humility. I appreciate his work ethic and that he works really hard at this, but I also think it's kind of bullshit. And so I want to see, that's what I want to see. I want to see Jake Paul get the floor wiped with him. I think it's a great way for Mike Tyson to end his career. And it will kind of like put an end to this nonsense of Jake Paul, like this, the new face of boxing. What is this new face of boxing? He's a goofball, man, with a giant piggy bank and unlimited resources. He's a mediocre boxer. And what's really telling is the guys he fights. It's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. If he really wants to be taken seriously, he's got to box boxers, man. And Mike Tyson is a step in the right direction, but I don't know. In any case, I've been waiting for Jake Paul to get messed up for a long time. I'm hoping tomorrow it happens. I will definitely be tuning in to watch. I generally don't watch sports, but this is something I'm going to watch. I want to see this go down. Who do you think is going to win in this situation? In your best internet, I'm just an internet guy. This is my internet guy opinion. That's all I can present to you here. So that is what I've done. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think seasoned experience is going to triumph over youth and hunger. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that Mike Tyson is a scary dude, and he has some skeletons in his basement that he needs to exercise and work out. He's going to work them out on Jake Paul. And you can just tell, you look at him in the last day or two and like how serious he has become. It's like a killer getting ready to do what he does best, kill. So Jake Paul, I think Jake Paul is in trouble. And if Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson, that would be, I think everybody would think it's rigged. I think that I don't know. Alex Schmidt says, being a wrestling fan all my life, I always heard, that stuff is fake, right? Now we have people heavily these Paul brother fights, and I just shake my head. Invested, you mean? Heavily invested. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate the clarification there. Yeah, man. I mean, it's goofy. It's goofy. I think Logan Paul, these guys are scumbags to begin with. And Logan Paul is like a legitimate scumbag. That dude is such a scumbag. And his brothers, they're both scumbags. Jake Paul is more of like a pest. You know what I mean? Logan Paul is like a serious, like a seriously demented narcissistic dude who, like, what he did in that Japanese forest was so unforgivable. And the fact that he was able to somehow overcome it. Do you know how much, like, he ruined so many YouTubers? We had this thing called the Adpocalypse. I don't know if anybody remembers that. My channel, which used to be monetized, was demonetized. And then it took me, it took me a couple of years to get my channel remonetized again, all because of this doofus, and when he boxed Floyd Mayweather, that was just an exhibition match. But even he talked about on an episode or a show or something, he talked about how Floyd Mayweather did this trick where he like prevented Logan Paul from taking a breath. He had like put him in a headlock and like kept him from breathing. And Logan Paul felt himself miss a breath, and it like totally threw him off. And it's like just like an old boxing technique. I'm sure Mike Tyson probably has 1,000 of those things, and he's going to use them on Jake Paul, man. I'm telling you, Jake Paul is in trouble. He really is in trouble. That's the thing I try to wonder, like, is this rigged, or does Jake Paul legitimately have so much hubris that he does not realize what he has gotten himself into, and that he thinks that it's a safe enough bet because, hey, I'm taking on it's like in Jake Paul's mind, he's like, I'm taking on the greatest boxer ever lived, but I'm doing it when he's 30 years older than me and giving me a supreme advantage. It's just so fucking goofy, man. It's just goofy. The whole thing is goofy. But am I going to watch? Of course I'm going to friggin' watch. How can I not? Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Matul, is that how you say your name? It's so funny how Logan thought he would win against Floyd and got swept. It's the same with the KSI thing. He thinks he could win against Tyson, like Buddy clinched against Tommy the entire fight. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Jake Paul against Tommy Fury and you see and I'm sure, listen, Jake Paul is definitely a boxer. Jake Paul has been training and working really hard as a boxer. But make no mistake, Jake Paul is an average boxer, man. He's an average. All the experts say that he's an average boxer. Everybody says he's an average boxer. Like, he's not, the idea of him, like, taking out Mike Tyson, even Mike Tyson 30 years older, it's a joke. It's not possible. It's just not possible, man. I just don't see how that's going to happen. I don't know what time it's supposed to start. I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. So you got to do the math from there. You got to have a Netflix account, although I'm sure it's going to be the thing about all these fights is like eventually like the 10-minute highlight reel is all you really need to see. And that gets put, I mean, the matches themselves are only like 10 minutes long anyway. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I keep watching stuff. I keep looking at, I keep watching people's whatever, what's it called? I keep watching people's commentaries, trying to figure out what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, that sort of thing. In your opinion, what does Jake need to do to win the fight? Go long distance. So, look, I'm really not an expert. I'm not an expert here, but here's what I think. Here's what I think possibly needs to happen. Jake Paul would have to last all the rounds. Like, he would have to last all the rounds. And not only that, Mike Tyson would have to use up all of his power. You know what I mean? He's got to use up all of his power. If he can do that, if Jake Paul can do that, he might be able to push over Mike Tyson, or he might at least last. Like, is it possible? Here's the thing I keep asking myself. Could a guy like Jake Paul actually knock out Mike Tyson? I just don't see how that's possible. I just don't think Jake Paul has the power to do it. I just don't. I think Mike Tyson has enough experience to avoid getting knocked out, but on the flip side, Mike Tyson might get gassed and might not be able to last the whole thing with Jake Paul. And maybe the ref will call and be like, it's over. But Mike Tyson's 58 and on his prime. Yeah. It would be so lame if Jake Paul played it safe until the last round. And the reality is that might be what happens. He might do that. He might actually do that. I mean, it'd be really, really, really goofy. It'd be really sad. It'd be a sad situation, but that might happen. Every one of these scenarios is possible. And that's, I think, what makes people so interested in the fight, besides the circus freak aspect of it, like the spectacle of it. It's because literally anything could happen in this fight. Literally anything could happen in this fight. Mike Tyson could knock out Jake Paul in the first 10 seconds. Jake Paul could dance, and avoid Mike Tyson around. Everybody will be shitting all over him for doing it for the full 8 rounds. Mike Tyson might get, here's what I want to believe. I said this already. I'm going to say it again. I believe that maybe Jake Paul gets in a couple jabs. I think Mike Tyson is just going to wait for the right moment. He's going to give Jake Paul a body shot that is just going to rearrange Jake Paul's like understanding and existence of reality. He's going to get so rocked by like a combo that he's not even expecting from Tyson. Tyson's going to do something to him, and it's just going to like rearrange his you know his his whole sort of like chemistry, Jake Paul's chemistry, and he is not going to be able to reconcile. He's not going to be able to reconcile after Mike Tyson does this to him. And maybe he's able to like last a couple more rounds, but he's not going to be on the offensive. He'll be on the defensive because he's going to be so utterly terrified by what Mike Tyson's done to him and by punching him. Am I betting on the fight? No, I am not betting on the fight. I am not. I think Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson if they have a good plan and delay round. Man, that would just be really lame. That would just be really lame. No, I'm not betting on the fight. Are you? Is anybody out here betting on the fight? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are betting on the fight. Who do you think Mike Tyson's betting on? You think Mike Tyson's betting on Mike Tyson? You think Jake Paul is betting on Jake Paul? Do you think Jake Paul is betting on Mike Tyson? I guess you can't do that, right? It's kind of like throw in fights or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how this is all gonna play out. We're gonna just have to wait and see. We're just gonna have to wait and see. It's definitely going to be interesting. That's for sure. It's all anybody's going to be talking about for the next week too. I can't believe it's finally here. It was supposed to be here over the summer. When I first heard about it, I was like, man, like this is like not like, this is so ridiculous. Like the idea of a guy like Jake Paul even being in the same sentence as Mike Tyson is kind of insulting to Mike Tyson and his legacy. But at the same time, it's kind of like the perfect final match for Mike Tyson. It's like Mike Tyson's not going to fight any more boxers, like boxers. Mike Tyson wants to get paid. It is an officially sanctioned fight, so Mike Tyson can count it as a KO, a victory, whatever. I mean, what's to say Mike Tyson just knocks him out in with just a 1-2 in like the first 10 seconds? Wouldn't that be something else? Wouldn't that be just fucking hilarious? Even if they didn't intend for it, there's probably something they've worked out something between them where he's like, okay, they have to make it last for, maybe they have like a contract with Netflix. Like it's got to last at least 4 rounds. Matt John is here. He says, hey, I listened to stand up about this. I think Josh Johnson, what was he saying, Matt? I'm curious to know. He's 58, bro. Come on. Yeah, he's 58, but he is Mike Tyson. First of all, look at the shape that he is in at 58, even though he's got the health problems that he has. That's number one. Number two, he spent his entire fucking life conditioning his body to fighting. Even at 58, you still have some sort of vitality that allows you to do what you do. Look at the clips of him. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, we only see 3 seconds of him on the bag. We only see 3 seconds of him with sparring. He's still fucking fast. And the guy who he fought back in 2020 said, hey, man, Mike Tyson still has power. You don't lose power with age. Your reflexes, your stamina goes, but not your power. Who win? I say it's going to be Mike Tyson. Of course, if you coach Jake Paul, what you plan beat Mike Tyson? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess Jake Paul's coaches are being paid. Although, listen, Jake Paul's coaches probably just enjoy being paid, so they don't really care if Jake Paul wins or lose. And if Jake Paul wins or lose, it's inconsequential, right? It's entirely inconsequential. The only thing that matters is that they getting paid by Jake Paul. What did they care? Did you see Tyson slapping up Jake? No, I did not. I did not see that. Matt John says regarding the stand-up, he was joking about how Mike is so iconic and how many years passed since the 80s and Jake is too young to know the 80s or something. Sorry, I'm not funny. Yeah, I mean, it's goofy. The whole thing is goofy, but I don't know. There is, as I said, there is something kind of poignant about it a little bit, like this idea of like this idea of it really does kind of mirror the movie Rocky Balboa in a way, although Rocky fights like an actual champion and Jake Paul is a goofy YouTuber turned boxer. It's not exactly the same. Look at the weigh-ins. It happened today. When you're free, it's jokes. All right, I'm going to take a look at this real quick. Let's take a look. You're saying that Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. How about that? Hold on, I'm going to take a look at this real quick. My screen. Give me a moment. One second. All right. There we go. All right. So
the world has been waiting for.
Something's happening. I can't hear anything.
Fighting out of the blue corner. He holds a near perfect professional
They're talking.
record of 10 victories versus just 1 defeat, with 7 of those wins. 227.
I mean, look at Jake. Jake, listen, he put on a lot of bulk and he's taken a lot of steroids, but man, I got to tell you, I don't think that translates to skill. That doesn't translate to skill. Did he get smacked? Hold on. Hold the phone. Let's see. There he is. There's Mike Tyson. Look at him, man. Look at him. Look at that fucker, man. He's friggin' ripped, bro. He's going to do it, man. He is going to take him out. He is going to take out Jake Paul. Absolutely. Look at this. Look at him. He's not fucking around. Look at his face, man. He is not scared. He's faced, how many friggin' guys has he faced? Fran's here. Hi, Fran. How many guys has he faced? Mike Tyson. He's not afraid. He's not afraid at all. He doesn't care. Look at him. Oh, shit. That's amazing. That's amazing. Did you see that? He wasn't expecting that. Look at him. The adrenaline's popping. Why is the resolution is terrible? Hold on. There we go. I was like, why is the resolution so bad? Look at him. Look at that stomach. Do you have any idea like what it takes to be in that kind of shape at 57? You can't, you really can't discredit Mike Tyson for doing this. Look at this. Walks right up to him, shakes this guy's hand. Look at this. Jake gets in his face too close. Look at Mike Tyson's face here. Look at his face. He is dead serious, man. Dead serious. Boom. Ready to fight. Oh, is that cool? Yeah, Jake Paul's pretending like he's not bothered. Look, yeah, right. That he is terrified, man. He's terrified. He is terrified. Look at my he's ready. He's fucking ready. Jake Paul is not ready for Mike Tyson. Look at this. Could that be staged? Yeah, sure. It could. There's something about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is a genuine friggin' dude. Oh, look at his face. Look at him. Yeah, it could just be for hype. I don't know. Hard to say. There's something so unsettling about Mike Tyson and just the fact that he He's a fucking killer, man. This is all fake bravado here from Jake Paul. I'm sorry. That's bravado. Look at him. Look, he's gotten bulky, man, but that does not translate to speed. That does not translate to skill. It gives him some meat. You need meat, right? To step into the ring to make it more even. I mean, that's like surrounding an animal, man. Mike Tyson is an animal. You could tell. I mean, Mike Tyson's taking this seriously. I don't think Mike Tyson is fucking around. I think that a switch has gone off in his brain and he's preparing himself. I mean, he's preparing himself. The pressure that Mike Tyson must feel, you know, there is vulnerability. And, you know, Jake is playing the, oh, yeah, you know. He is terrified, dude. He's not going to last a second with Jake Paul, with Mike Tyson, man. He's just not. He's not going to. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Look, see that? See how he reacts instead of getting up in his grill? Look at that. He doesn't do shit. He doesn't do shit, man. He doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Walks up. Ooh. No, like, look how fast Mike Tyson is. Jake Paul can't even fucking react. So Matt, I want nothing more than a knockout. A knockout, you know. Here, Riot, Sharpie Riot is here to say if Tyson doesn't knock him out in the first, that means this is a sparring event. You know, it's interesting, Sharpie. They're saying that it's an officially sanctioned fight, you know. Here's what I think. If he doesn't knock him out in the first round, here's my actual prediction. If he does not knock him out in the first round, Mike Tyson, if he doesn't knock out Jake Paul, then this is fixed. It has to be fixed. There's no way. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Look at him. He's like a fucking spring trap. Look at this guy. He comes up. There's nothing fake about that dude. There is nothing fake. Look how skinny he is. Muscular. Look at him. Boom. Jake Paul, look, see that? You know what that face is right there? That is Jake Paul trying to process what the fuck just happened. All right? That's what I think. Like, again, you could say, oh, maybe they're in on it. Maybe he's like, hey, make sure you hit me. It'll look really good on the thing. I don't know. And I think that Jake is kind of like, oh my God, like what just happened? I thought we were bros, even though we're about to fight. Look. Yeah. And he knows that. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it's good. It's a good show. It's a good show to make sure that eyeballs tune in. But at the end of the day, that's the ultimate truth. If Mike Tyson does not knock out Jake Paul in the first round or the second round or whatever, it's got to be fixed. It's got to be fixed. It's Sharpie's right. That will turn it into a sparring event for sure. Guys, it's late. I wasn't even planning to go live. I'm exhausted. I've got a ton of live shows. I'm shooting my film. My new movie is coming this weekend. And after that, we got a bunch of live shows planned. I'm very excited for. So keep your eyes peeled for those. We'll see who wins. I'm not going to do a follow-up. There's no, I don't know. Fuck yeah, I'm going to do a fucking follow-up. We got to fucking look at this fight. We got to look at the fight. If the fight is interesting, we got to look at it. So maybe there's going to be an additional breakdown. We might have to do a post-mortem on this fight. Sharpie says That's basically what I'm saying. Fixed would assume the outcome is predetermined, though. Sparring would mean they agree to make the fight last and not go for the kill. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Sharpie. That's what it is. So it's not that it's fixed. It's just that they're like, hey, we want to give everybody a show. And I want to hope that Mike Tyson is just the wild card that he is, and that he just knocks out Jake Paul and makes everybody really upset that they got like 10 seconds of a fight. It would be so freaking satisfying. I muted it. I don't even need to hear what Jake Paul's saying. Like whatever he's saying is like inconsequential to me. I just don't care. Hey, thanks for jumping on the stream and thanks for subbing. Again, if you want to get yourself a Mike Tyson tattooed sticker from Sharpie Riot and Riot Stickers. We'll put a link down in the description. riotstickers.com/Frumess. And we'll see on the other end of this fight to talk to do a breakdown as to what happened. But that'll probably have to wait till Monday because, like I said, I'm shooting all weekend. Wish me luck. Peace. Hair grease. Good luck, Mike Tyson, although I don't think you need it. And Jake Paul, there's not enough luck in the world that can save you, bro. I'm convinced.